I heard somebody yell, encore, encore.
Anybody say anything like that?
Oh, how long have you been...
They said go home.
Is that what they... No, I think you misunderstood that. How long have you been playing that?
I built this in '81.
Yeah, but how long have you been playing these type instruments?
Since then.
Since 81. 81. Oh, well. Now, how long did it take you to build that instrument?
The book says 16 hours, but don't believe him. It takes longer than that. And it takes an awful lot of clamps and an awful lot of whittling and an awful lot of good straight lumber to lay them on the boats and glue them together. I think every other line in the instructions it says check the plywood, 3/4 plywood, and make sure it is flat and straight. And they're not fooling you. If you get that off just a little bit, your bar that has all the frets on it has got just a little hump in it. You've had it. There's no way to straighten it out once you get it glued together.
And then you cannot strike the right tone, right?
You can't tune it, because when you start to tune it, the strings rub on the frets, and that won't work. You have to have an 1/8 of an inch clearance between the frets and the strings.
All right, that's something to keep in mind. If I ever get out of line and my frets are rubbing on the strings, that will explain why I'm out of tune. Simple.
It would make a difference.
Thank you, John.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not going to introduce you either. Well, Vern Knopp and Glenn told me a few moments ago, I said, give us a few minutes, because we're going to, in a few minutes, have the Knopp family patriotic sing. Going to do some patriotic music for us. I think before we get into that, the boys have been talking about shooting the big shell. So if you'd like to have the opportunity to be the one to light the fuse, and what'd you say, 125-foot fuse? Who said that? Well, if you're a little bit leery of that, if 125 foot isn't long enough, all right. If all else fails, read it, all right. If all else fails, then if 125 foot isn't long enough, they'll put more fuse on it. You can light it. You can come back tomorrow night and watch it go off. But anyway, you can buy a ticket, buy a chance, go down there and light that 30-incher. One ticket for $1 or buy 6 for $5. Now, who can beat a deal like that? That's getting one free, right? Am I figuring that right? That has to be. God, Daryl, mathematics was my strong suit, I'll tell you. That's why, I was telling someone here a while back, Ed, I think, is Ed Lou still out? Yeah, Ed's still out in the crowd. Years ago, talk about mathematics and carrying rulers and toolboxes. Now, I never in all my life saw Ed with a ruler in the toolbox of that old M. Years ago, when Ed used to stop up and say, hey, he says, how you getting along planting corn? And I said, oh, pretty fair. And he'd maybe dig up a few, and he says, by God, boy, he says, they're pretty close. You want to put them, so you can get your foot between them. But there was only one problem, you see. When Eddie put his foot between them, I had to close them up a little bit. Now, Ed's foot spacing this summer so far probably would have been all right. Hey, we didn't finish this about the shell either. Okay, let's read it from the top since I haven't read it before. It said, do you want to shoot a big shell? Boy, they have big emphasized here. You can buy a winning ticket to light the 30-inch shell. That sounds like a pretty good one. I'd want 125 foot of fuse on that one, too. It'll be safe for anyone to light because of this 125 foot fuse. If you're scared, they'll put 1,000 or 2,000 on it, right? Right. All right. Okay, you can get your tickets right up here. Who has a ticket? Daryl, do you have the tickets? James has it. That's scary in itself. But anyway, come buy your tickets and have your chance to light this 30-inch shell. I'm running out of something to say here. We're running out of shells. Now they have some more shells to go. I see part of the Knopp family coming up here. That's only, what are you guys having, a duet? Just two? Well, all right. We're going to turn this over to, do you need something? This is impromptu, just wing it.
There are donation buckets around I can't say fairgrounds, but around the farm here, that if anybody wants to donate towards fireworks and for
past years here in Malvern, the show the boys put on, it's not cheap, and the things that you're going to see go up in the air here after dark fall in that category too. They are not cheap. So as David said, pass in a donation, and by all means, come on up, buy a ticket to light this 30-inch shell. Funny, I thought I had the Knopp family right here, and they're gone again. Paul, do you have a little tap dance you'd like to do? You want to take that latch out on the tailgate of my pickup again just for the sport? That should kill a couple hours or so. Yeah. Viner would really eat that up. He'd hit me another shot for that. Are they still playing? Oh, they're playing volleyball. Did they have any softball games going back here? There is a softball game going in back of what? Oh, back to the east over there. Right beside our car. That will be the green LTD that has no windows in it. You'll recognize it. Paul is smiling. It'll be in the shop tomorrow. Viner's licking his chops. Boy, there's another couple hundred. If you guys keep stalling in that softball game, are they playing with a luminous ball down there after dark? I don't even hear anything sound like a softball game going down there. You just drained the keg out, didn't you? I was going to say, I think you're going to have to wind up on the cutting room floor. Completely. What happened to our patriotic singers? Oh, somebody's going to have to do a tap dance here pretty soon. Linda? There's Linda Seibel. She can tap dance. Hey, Linda, do you have your beeper on? Somebody go out and turn the rescue alarm in. We'll get a little excitement going here. Oh, there they are. There comes the Star Spangled Banner from years ago. I don't recognize the other two. What was there? They tap dance too? We have quite a crew. You. You have to have a PA man, all right. I was going to turn this over to. If you can find a good PA engineer around here, let me know. Somebody turn this mic off. Where is our engineer?
Where'd David go? Where'd David go?
I didn't see a mad rush up here yet to purchase that ticket for that 30-inch shell. The boys told me some time ago this shell runs about $150 and isn't going to take very long to shoot a $150 bill all to smithereens. It's going to be great watching it. As we said a moment ago, these things aren't cheap. So come on up, share in the fun, and maybe you could light that fuse on the biggie. I'm going to turn this over to somebody else. We need Dave Lou, Jim Melton. We need an engineer up here at the booth. We need an engineer at the sound booth, please.
Huh?
They're playing softball.
No.
Hurry up! You can do it!
I'm going to turn this over to the Knopp family here. Now we have an engineer. I'm not sure why we needed an engineer. But anyway, here for a patriotic section of our program this evening, I'm going to turn this over to Justice. All right. I think we'll just wait and see what happens when they get their engineer collected, all the cords straightened out, and get tuned up. Eunice, are you tuned up? She's not tuned up either. I think I'm going home. Oh, all right. This is just wing it tonight. Well, we're momentarily, sometime before breakfast, we're going to have the Knopp family in here. So stand by. All right.